I just checked my vitals and I think I'm so bullish, I'm gonna fucking die. That's right, we're living on the most insane timeline of all time because we have about 3 months left until the US government will probably start buying Bitcoin on its national balance sheet. You were wondering where the next wave of bullishness is gonna come from. This isn't just a wave, this is a motherfucking tsunami. So brace yourselves because what we're about to experience is unprecedented in the history of humanity. You are living through a renaissance, a global capital renaissance. Okay, since recording this video, things have gotten absolutely fucking nuts. Bitcoin is burning a hole in the atmosphere. Look at this. Since this formation that we've been pointing out literally for, I don't know, like a year now, it's up 30% within just a couple of days, trading at over $84,000. But what's even crazier is this. If you look at this chart, others BTC, you can see we were drawing on this a few months ago. We thought we were forming higher lows and higher highs and we're going to break out to the upside. But instead of breaking out to the upside, we've actually gone downwards. We've actually broken down and we formed new lows here. But as you can see here, Bitcoin, once it does stop, whenever it does stop, it's going to allow for these alts to catch up. And these alts are going to go like this. They're going to go so ballistic, it's going to change really anyone's life holding these assets. I'm going to be kicking up my content a lot, showing you how I'm going to be handling this. But my point is that what I've been telling you over the last several months has been desperate and urgent for a reason. And that is time is running out to get ahead of this freight train of liquidity. Anyways, back to this video. You're going to be seeing a lot more of me shortly. Crypto has won forever. This was the big one. This was the big kahuna. We had a political regime that believed they could go after crypto with no consequence. And oh boy, did they pay dearly, losing every bit of influence across every branch of government. But crypto is bigger than politics, and this channel is not a political channel. The only reason we ever talked about politics is because of crypto, because this is what we love. This is the industry that we're all dedicated to for the long run. And it will never be on the ballot again. That's because over the next few years, there will be precedent, laws, regulations, everything will be set in motion, and it will not be something that will be reversible. Doesn't matter who takes over the government next, whether it stays the same or flip-flops back and forth, crypto is here to stay forever. We won forever. We'll talk about how significant that is in a second. So let's heal the divide. And I know being in LA, like there's some real mourning, there's some real coping going on with the results of this election. So send your lefty friends some coins, drop them some degenerate catnip, and help them get excited about the fact that this is going to be the greatest period of wealth creation we've ever seen in the history of our nation, in the history of the world. Higher together. But back to this, you do realize how absolutely insane this is. A president that has surrounded himself with people who believe that buying Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset will shield the country from inflation, from debasement, and be a strategic asset globally. This is now being reported in China on their national news stations. China is reporting that Bitcoin is going on the US balance sheet. This is a warning. They are essentially about to start front running this. Saudi Arabia, China, Russia, all of the global adversaries of the United States, they are going to start getting ahead of the US Bitcoin adoption trade. And given that this wasn't a squeaker election, but we had the president, the Senate, and the House of Representatives all going to a single party, we are all but guaranteed to see this play out. Now, this was an amazing article from Brian Armstrong, the head of Coinbase, who is currently being sued by the SEC, who has had a nightmarish condition under the current administration. They said reflections on the election through a crypto lens, where they go through all the incredible wins that the Crypto Political Action Committee was able to create over this past election, not just on the right, but on the left as well. This is the part I want to draw your attention to. This next Congress will be the most pro-crypto Congress ever. Stand with Crypto voters showed up in force to help elect pro-crypto candidates in almost every district on both sides of the aisle. Both sides of the aisle. 257 pro-crypto candidates elected in the House. 257 is a supermajority. That is absolutely insane. So the legislation being drafted will be inherently from a pro-crypto lens going forward, at least for years, but probably for significantly longer, as most of these candidates will be in office for many terms. You can simply not overstate how big what just happened a few days ago is for the future of crypto. As Alex Becker says, you're on a phenomenal timeline right now. Right the now, perhaps the best moment in history to make money in the last 50 years. Minimal obstacles, maximum advantages. Don't you dare waste it. Of course, my favorite piece of news was that in every single state, Superverse swept, the super sweep. And it's not just Bitcoin, but anything related to crypto looks so insanely bullish right now, it boggles the mind. Look at this. You have coin looking like it wants to absolutely rip. It's coming over. And look, this trend line comes all the way down from 2021. This thing is going to go to all-time highs and much, much higher. It wants to just absolutely rip unapologetically. You can see this is a log chart. So it goes up exponentially the higher you go. Same with Tesla. This thing looks absolutely insane right now. The Tesla chart is the stuff of legend. Obviously, it's busted all the way up here to about 300, but it wants to go. It wants to go so much higher. So let's get back to work, because right now we have a chance to define the next era of our lives. And all of this political stuff, in my opinion, it's a distraction. No one has any more control. Whoever voted, you voted, that's done. This is out of your control now. Screaming about anything is not going to advance your life, but you do have the ability to take action in your own life, to control what you eat, to control the toxins you put in your body, and to help free yourself financially. Those are the things that are going to dramatically impact your life, your family's life. So take it seriously, because these types of opportunities simply don't come around that often. And here's a visual. I showed this on my last video. Every single election has marked the lowest point that Bitcoin will ever be in the history of its life going forward. Bitcoin has never revisited any price that it was on a US presidential election. There's only been 3 of these ever in history, and you're living through it right now, which means the best part is ahead. You can pretty much throw a dart at the best coins and ride these to absolutely life-changing amounts of gains. That's how it goes. This is what the future was made to do. Now, up until this point, the entire market has been dominated by meme coins. I believe that with the wave of bullishness, the unlocks from a regulatory standpoint, we will see the smartest builders building real hardcore crypto tech, and the existing crypto tech giving more toothy value to the coins that are attached to their ecosystems, meaning utility is going to come back. Utility is going to have its golden era. Probably the best time to buy utility coins in the history of humanity is coming up right now. The next Amazon and Nvidia are trading at micro valuations right now. This is a friendly government coming up. The best and brightest will rush in to build in crypto. There is no second best industry. Utility coins will reshape society, and you are prehistoric early. So yes, meme coins have definitely caught steam, and they will continue to do well. I have maintained this from the beginning, that cultish meme coins will continue to crush it. Go check out my video that I made before, because I stand by this, that the YouTube audience hates meme coins a little bit too much. You know, you guys need to be open-minded. The amount of comments I got on that YouTube that were disparaging me, despite the fact that almost every single coin I covered in that video is up dramatically, massively from that video. You guys just need to understand, you have to have an analytical lens, not an emotional lens, towards cryptocurrency. I promise, taking your emotions out of it is the best thing you can do. You don't want FOMO, you don't want FUD, you don't want elitism. You want to look at the data and study the markets and make smart analytical decisions. That's it. And that's what this channel, I promise you, is dedicated to doing ongoing, period. I'm just trying to give you my best observations, no matter what they are. But this is something I believe in my bones, which is that utility is about to make a raging comeback, a screaming comeback. And so what are these narratives? Well, of course, we have memes, we have AI, we have gaming. Those are the 3 that I outlined over a year and a half ago. And I'm not changing it. Those are the 3 driving parts of this entire bull run. So as we jump in, we have the top memes by market cap. Obviously, the number 1 meme in my view is going to be Pepe. You can't count out Dogecoin, because obviously Elon Musk is going to be literally in the government. He's creating an entire government department called the Department of Government Efficiency. The Doge meme is going to reach an entirely new level of global impact. I still hold that when Doge hits a new all-time high, it will set off the biggest retail mania, because there are so many people who bought Doge last cycle because of Elon that once this thing hits all-time high, most people didn't sell. They just forgot about their coins. They will come back with a vengeance once they realize that they're up on their Dogecoin. So keep your eyes on Dogecoin as a signal. I think that there's probably some good gains in Dogecoin as well, maybe like a 10x. But of course, Pepe is where I think you'll get these astronomical pumps. I have no idea where Pepe could go. I think a 20x is possible out of Pepe. I don't know for sure. It depends on how big the market gets. But of course, these are going to be your 2 biggest and safest memes of the cycle, in my opinion. And if you're new here, which you probably are, because this is a brand new bull cycle, just know when we talk about altcoins, we say they're safe or risky. Everything in crypto is crazy risky. Like, gun to your head, you could lose everything. This is the type of make it or break it type of asset class. There are no guarantees. If Bitcoin decides to take a shit and plummet, then everything is coming with it. As much as I'm excited and I think this is all going to happen, I could be wrong. I'm just a dude with the webcam. So if you buy coins, just know you're assuming a tidal wave of risk. And with that, you get potential for astronomical upside.
There's no rebates here. There's no 30-day return policy.
You're putting on big boy pants.
Are you a big man?
You're getting in the deep end of the pool and you're taking financial risks that you hope will make your life better. We're gambling. We're all gambling for our futures here. And that's the reality. So all new people know I'm listing coins I think will go up. I hope they go up. But if they don't, just know that that's the game and we're all playing it together. And I hope I can help people out, but I'm going to get it wrong sometimes. So just embrace that things are going to happen. I genuinely might not actually get this one right, but I'm going to do my best for you guys because I feel really passionately about this. And if you ask other EllioTrades Army members, yeah, I've definitely gotten some trends right in the past. All right, back to this. I think Dog with Hat, this one's going to run with Solana. As Solana runs, Dog with Hat will run. Popcat has been an absolutely astronomical performer. I think it needs a correction, but if it doesn't, these are the top Solana memes, Popcat and Dog with Hat. That's not even debatable. Brett is going to run with the base narrative. If base starts getting hot again, base chain, that will be where Brett starts to really shine. But my favorite coin, and has been for a very long time, is MOG. As you can see, it's just got this gorgeous chart. It literally just has this insane consolidation. I've been in MOG for a very long time. I just think this one has this diehard culture behind it. Again, I think it's quite fun as well. If you put on the Pit Vipers, you start screaming MOG on the internet. Super, super fun times. But now we get to the real dgen stuff, right? All this stuff is the real dgen stuff. And I think that the way to look at memes is to look for really strong coins that have gone through massive corrections and to buy those corrections, hoping that they'll come back to life. You never want to buy memes when they're just up and up, explosive with gains at all-time highs. That's when you get really, really screwed. There's sort of three types of traders in the market right now. You have your sort of Bitcoin and Ethereum traders. You're like long-term. They only buy the stock market stuff. That's like your mainstream guys. Then you have new retail traders. A lot of you might be new retail traders, and they're looking for like 1,000x gains to put in $100, $1,000 and make life-changing gains. And those people will go not even to these meme coins that I'm talking about, but to the brand new meme coins, the meme coins that are just launching, that are literally trading at miniature valuations. The thing about those is only 1 in a million actually tends to go up and run and make its way up. Now, like I've said a few times, and I'm going to be bringing on people who know more than me, if you want to bid those, again, this is like throwing pennies into the well. I lose a ton of money this way. I haven't caught any memes this early, but you got to use Photon. It's a free tool. The link is in the description of this video. And this is how you snipe new memes. You can get them literally before the second they've been created. Look at this, market cap is 7.9K. Again, this is raw gambling. You probably have higher odds of pulling a slot machine in a casino. But of course, if you win here, I've seen people make astronomical amounts of money, but you have to understand, this is just like throwing pennies in the fountain. The thing is, that's why people are kind of here in crypto, is to make a few bets and hopefully make Lambo money. So there's going to be that big divide, right? Where there's the big centralized exchange traders, and then there's the super degen brand new meme gamblers, and they are looking for that life-changing run. And in between is where I think the real magic happens. And I believe that it's way easier to find the biggest category leaders in gaming and AI, potentially real-world assets, and to focus on utility tokens. Now, once the market explodes here and we get all of the NASDAQ investors coming to crypto because they see that the government is now supporting this and they want to wet their beak on the newest technology, the new NASDAQ, they're going to come squarely into AI because AI is the driving narrative between all the modern stock market movements. Look at NVIDIA, look at what's going on with modern business, and they're going to come and look at AI here. So this entire section of AI coins on CoinMarketCap are going to get absolutely flooded. And most likely they're all going to do pretty well. I'm guessing they will do well. BitTensor is probably going to take, an insane majority of this, get a power law effect. I'm a big holder of Akash. I've talked about it many times publicly. There's just a lot of these here. And to be honest, I think the thing about AI coins is that you have two segments. You have the kind of meme AI coins. They're using a lot of buzzwords. They have some products. It's very unclear who's going to win that. And then you have the dpin, the decentralized physical infrastructure, where they're actually renting out compute space. And they're kind of two different segments, but I believe that they'll both get flooded with excitement. And in the end, I trade them kind of like meme coins because it's very unclear what AI coins will work. In fact, we have no idea what AI should be valued. If it should be valued very highly or not so highly, who's going to win, what those forms look like. So it's kind of just rampant speculation in AI. And that's what leads to massive pumps, but also massive dumps. What I'll say is find your own. I've talked before about AOS, Akash. I've talked about Destra Network. I've talked about a bunch of these. And just to be clear, for people who are new here, I've not sold any coins in the last year and a half. I've just been accumulating. I have traded around some memes, but not stuff I talk about here on the channel. I'm just trying to get good at memes. Again, if you really want degenerate memes, you need to find a community. I've been building like a private community. It's not for, hey, let's talk about stuff before I share it here. I never will take private alpha that I've talked about with people and then talk about it on the channel because that's not fair to the viewers of the channel. And I try to do everything very much so aligned with, hey, if I'm a viewer of the channel, I try to think how I can do everything as a creator to align with the viewers to make it really, really easy to follow, and also to give them the maximum chances of being at least early or on time with everybody else to the information I share. So I'm experimenting with ways that I can talk about more early stuff in smaller communities, knowing that that will never ever jump to the main channel because it creates a conflict of interest, in my opinion. So if you have a strong interest or you're a hardcore EllioTrades fan, tell me and tag me on Twitter, talk about it. I'm trying to get my hardest core fans in a single place. Again, whenever I do this, Twitter actually blocks me from seeing all of the content. So keep at it. If I haven't hit you back and you've been tweeting about me or Super or whatever you've mentioned, just make your voice known on X and I'll try to invite you into the community. And speaking of AI being mostly meme, I think that it's funny that we've actually seen the birth of AI meme tokens, which are a new class of AI coin. And it all started with this coin Godius Maximus. And you can see Godius here trades at a market cap of almost $1 billion. What was crazy here is Godius was started essentially by a grant that Mark Andreessen gave to an AI bot on Twitter. And GoatCoin essentially is this Twitter handle that tweets based on an LLM AI, or at least we think it does. That there's been some suspicions that it doesn't. And it gave birth to this whole category of AI-led meme coins. It's quite an interesting concept here. Like, hey, we'll have meme coins, but the AIs actually are creating them and managing them. It's very, very interesting and very weird. I don't actually own any of these, but again, it just shows you that AI is kind of converging with meme in this way that I kind of predicted here on this channel by saying AI is kind of a meme right now, but it's just interesting to see all this play out. So keep that in mind. But now we get to my favorite category, the category that I believe will actually bring utility to the masses in a sustainable way, which is gaming. And that's because there's no other app layer. There's no other application that can actually support millions and millions of users at scale with crypto assets besides gaming. Obviously, most of you know this, but I helped start a project called Superverse. It's one of the top 10 gaming coins, and it's just been on an absolutely mad tear this cycle. Now, we've all been waiting for gaming essentially since the last cycle to come with amazing games. The problem is that a lot of these games have started to get a lot better, but the tokenomics I've noticed this cycle have been terrible. And so I'm working with a lot of founders, and there are many projects coming up soon that will have fair token launches, meaning they're community focused. There's not big investor unlocks every month. Essentially, the goal is to get community into these projects at the lowest possible price so that they can ride the upside of the project and not essentially buy in at some artificially high valuation, which was the issue with tokenomics and all the tokenomics that was driving last cycle and still drives a lot of these VC-backed projects. So there actually are some amazing gaming founders that have taken the plunge and are willing to do this. And I've convinced them, hey, look, this is the fair way to do it. You have an amazing product. Now it's time to give the community the real value. And so make sure to watch closely because there's a new wave of gutsy founders that want to be like Superverse, a community movement, not just a project, but a movement. By the way, if you love Superverse, if you're a big fan of Superverse, we have some massive news for you right now. And again, if you're not following, make sure to follow at Superverse on Twitter, but also tweet, tag me, tag Super. We're trying to round up all the hardest core Super fans and holders, and you can get access to a really cool community. If you make your voice heard, make sure to be loud and proud. We really, really care about the people who care about this project, and I want to meet you. There's actually been an insane amount of news. We'll go through a bunch of the updates now, and there is so much news coming that it's actually hard to fit it into all these videos. The goal of Superverse has been to unite all of gaming with a single token in every game and allow for users to have access to every single part of the crypto gaming ecosystem through one asset so that they weren't forced to choose, but they could start to actually spend and enjoy all these games through the Super token. And if they became passionate about a certain game, well, they would be pouring users and liquidity into that game. And so Super is really the best friend of all of these gaming protocols, but it also makes things super easy, no pun intended, on you guys, the general audience who believe that crypto gaming is going to take crypto to the masses. That's my belief, is that crypto gaming will take crypto to billions of users. There's 3 billion gamers globally. And so in a way, Super is not just a currency, but it's tokenizing the entire movement of gaming. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it's completely symbiotic with all of the partners, which is why the line for people to get into the Superverse is getting insanely long. But check this out. There is a new Super Quest alert. Check this out. Pixels Online, the wild mega hit that launched onto Binance earlier this year, has teamed up with Superverse. And essentially, if you put in 10 Super tokens into their dashboard, you can start earning superstars. If you want more information on this. Check this out. This was retweeted by the Superverse Twitter, but there's more. Pixels is a crazy big game. They have hundreds of thousands of active users, one of the biggest Web3 games that has launched this year. But this one is insane. Superverse is teaming up with Karate Combat. Karate Combat is the most insane sports league that has launched, in my opinion, in the last 5 years since the UFC. It's essentially UFC, but in my opinion, more entertaining. I've been to several of these matches, and this is one of the craziest sporting events you can go to. You're seeing like the most insane knockouts 4 feet away. They're in this pit that you can see them fight in. It's fucking mind-blowing. And they have just teamed up with the Superverse. There's going to be some amazing details here, so make sure you're following this partnership closely because there's going to be some awesome rewards for super holders that are part of this. Now back to more traditional gaming, we have Forgotten Playland, which is one of the main games on the Beam network, which is integrating the Super token. This is kind of like a Fall Guys. It's a super fun, more casual game. I love the art and aesthetic. Fantastic gaming title. So go follow Forgotten Playland. Go hype them up because this is another addition, a phenomenal addition to the Superverse. And finally, we have Say Network. This is one of the most advanced L1 blockchains. This was the Solana killer earlier this cycle. It's a huge and sort of next generation blockchain, and they've partnered with Superverse because they want Super to be in all the games on the Say Network. A phenomenal partnership here, and it's an amazing jump forward in utility for Super. Now, if you were here earlier in the cycle, you know one of the most outstanding projects in the gaming space has been Zai Network. Zai Network is an L3, essentially. It's another network built on Arbitrum, and it was actually supported internally from Arbitrum Foundation. So it has this next generation design for gaming projects. Zai is actually bringing Super to all of their ecosystem games as well. So this is a full other ecosystem for Super holders to go and enjoy. Again, a massive exponential blast of utility for Super holders. Remember, utility is king in my opinion going forward. And as you can see, Super is not just here to integrate one or two or a small handful of games, but it's here to bring the users and community to the entire gaming network. It's like a saturation effect of energy, community, and liquidity to all of these projects. And what's really cool is now Super is being driven by this decentralized network of builders, not just one, not just two, but dozens of teams all creating amazing product experiences that the Super token gets to go have utility in, and it can create this unified gaming network, a unified gaming movement. Pretty much if you believe in gaming, if you believe in the future of crypto gaming as an industry, as an application layer for crypto, well then this is a project that allows you to get access to all of it. In partnership with Sidus, finally, make sure you go follow Ton Station. If you haven't installed Ton Station, it's on Telegram. There's now 20 million users on Ton Station, and they're doing this big airdrop over there of the Soon token. It's going to be absolutely madness. So make sure you go in, download, and all you have to do is click some buttons in there, but it's actually a full game store in Telegram for the partners of Superverse to access the insane amounts of users on Telegram. This one has been more successful than I could have ever imagined when Superverse started this joint venture here with Galaxy Sidus. Absolutely crazy. Definitely check this one out and don't be too late here because the registration period ends November 15th. All right, I'm actually exhausted. That was so much news, but just to be clear, this is an unprecedented moment where Bitcoin and crypto are going to be potentially the spotlight of the global financial world. You're going to start seeing Bitcoin being put on the federal balance sheet. And in my opinion, the catalysts for real investors, hardcore investors, technology investors from NASDAQ to move over and start trying to find the blue chip assets of this utility wave, this protocol wave in crypto, that's going to be what starts happening now. Of course, I also believe that meme coins are going to crush it. Those mid-cap meme coins, the real culty ones, are going to have absolutely insane upside. I've definitely pointed them out to you, but I believe right now there's a dramatic undervaluing and underappreciating of the utility sector in crypto because the mainstream investors, they want tech, they want utility, they want use case, they want products, they want to see output of significance. And so I think that there will be two audiences, right? And then of course you have those full dgen people who are trying to throw $100 and make $1 million or whatever they want to do, and they're going to be gambling on new memes, but those are pretty much all going to zero. That's like a 99% loss rate, and you're hoping that your 1% of winners just go up astronomically high. So those are the three types of traders. You have right now your big cap traders, your Bitcoin type guys. They're only buying stuff that might get an ETF. You have your new meme gamblers. Those are like your TikTok investors. And then you have this strong middle where I think the real value is, and it's the most sane place for you to actually allocate capital, wait a few months, maybe a year, and see your whole thesis play out. That's been my particular area of expertise. Those are the types of coins I find most interesting. And I have three categories: AI, memes, and gaming. Those are the three that I've allocated to, and I believe will be the most impactful. And I'm curious what you guys think. If you guys are excited about this, share the episodes around. We'll be back with tons more content. I mean, that market's just heating up crazy, crazy, crazy. And I expect for us to see a 6-figure Bitcoin in the new year. Very exciting stuff.